Hi, today I would like to talk about something a little bit different, and I'd like to talk a little bit about what I actually do and how it actually affects healing, because it will affect some people, not everyone, but everything in life mirrors back to us where we are. It will give us clues, it will give us indications, will give us some sort of idea of how we are performing, how we are coping, and what's going on for us in our lives and where we can make improvements. Everything, that's everything. Everything is a mirror. What we are, we attract. Now, in some people, they will look at things like water and they will find, information out from water. You pick up vibration from like leaving water in your house, and you can measure that and find out what kind of energy you have going on in your building. So I mean, there are certain different experiments you can actually do. You can also do some like dowsing, you can do all sorts of like things to get an idea, but these things are really, well, they're not as accurate as actually really studying your relationships, really understanding your relationships. So, which brings me to animals, and especially dogs. The reason why especially dogs is because cats are so different to dogs. They're like little Zen masters. Cats can just carry on and just do what they want regardless, without being affected too much by people. However, dogs will pick up your emotions and need to ground your emotions for you. This is why sometimes they can be out of balance. Now, cats can also demonstrate a lot to us, but I specifically, and the majority of my work is with dogs. So I want to talk about dogs. Now, if you have a dog and your dog is not well, or if it's demonstrating some sort of behavioural issue, you want to look within yourself, because if there's something going on with your dog, it's also something to do with you. And this is one of the beautiful things, is that if you can see that and you can realize that, you can make huge positive changes, not only for yourself, but also for your dog. And because most people really love their dogs, it's something that is much easier to do, because you want to do whatever you can to try and help your dog to heal or to get better, be better balanced. Whereas when it's ourselves, it's quite easy to go, oh, it doesn't matter, I'll just eat that piece of toast with jam on it for dinner or something. It's very easy to sort of bypass our own needs and the things that will make us really well and thrive, because we tend to put our animals first. I mean, I know this, I've seen it with so many people. I know so many people that have dogs that will literally spend everything on their dog to make sure their dog has a happy life and eats the best possible foods, has the best possible treatment, has the best possible supplements, all those sorts of things. And yet when it comes to themselves, they'll be, I mean, I'm not saying that they're necessarily going to be eating toast with jam, but they spend the majority of their money on their dogs, because that's what makes them happy, because that's their love, that's their main love. And so what I want to share is that if your dog has some imbalance, your dog is communicating something to you on a deep level, trying to help you to heal a part of yourself. Now, you can take that animal to the vet and you can get them treated, and you can do all sorts of things, but unless you actually do the work on yourself, often what happens is the illness, or whatever it might be, or the behaviour, will keep persisting, keep coming up, might come up in different ways. It will be the same vibration, same like vibration, but it will keep coming up until you address whatever issue it is within yourself. This is why when a dog is often unwell, it's necessary that the dog and the human are both treated at the same time. So one of the things that I think is really helpful when healing, if you do have an animal, is to look at that animal and see where you are right now. Now, as an animal communicator, there's also another aspect. Sometimes what they do is they clear illness for us. So sometimes they may take on our illnesses. And of course we don't want them to do that. We want them to be well, we want them to thrive, we want them to live long, happy lives. We don't want them to do that to us, to take on any illness on behalf of us. But it happens, and it happens a lot. And as an animal communicator, I can tell you it's happened a lot with a lot of animals. And on some occasions what happens is that whilst the animal might take on the illness and clear it completely for the human being, what happens is after a certain time that animal is able to then clear it for their own selves, because they're not like us, they're not all thinky, they're very different, they're very present. But of course within that time that human being has also changed, their vibrations changed too. So that's something to consider. Then there's also the times where people might, the animal might take on the illness and the human hasn't really made the changes or hasn't understood or hasn't seen what's going on, and because of lack of awareness the animal passes through to the other side. Or it could just be because out of love that they just go, you know what, I'm going to clear this, I've done my piece and it's time to go. So don't ever feel bad if your animal dies of some illness, and don't think it's your fault, because that's not the case. But it's something just to be aware of, because there are times when people get consistently, their dogs always get a certain illness, and you think, your dog's always getting a certain illness. Have you not thought to look about what's going on inside of you? Have you not considered that there might be some sort of corresponding situation here that you need to deal with? So if you do have an animal and you are currently healing yourself, pay special attention to how they are behaving. Pay special attention to what they're drinking, how they're drinking, are they eating the right foods? Is there anything that you can see that you need to be aware of in order to heal them and yourself, so that your relationship will be stronger and more trusting? Because when these things happen, it's an opportunity for us to grow in our relationships, and also to heal aspects of ourselves, and not only just the aspects of ourselves right here, right now, but through other timelines too. So I just wanted to share a few words on animal communication and energy work, because it's so, I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. It happens, it's real, and once you start to see it and you can work with it, it's amazing the miracles that can happen in healing. And okay, it can happen with everything. If you're really aware, you can see it with the people, in the relationships with the people around you, with what kind of work you do. You can see it in other ways, and you can also, like I said, use dowsing tools and all this, like water. You can use water and sort of get feedback from the vibration of the water in your house to find out how things are going. But for the most clarity, if you have an animal and you really love your animal is going to show you better than anyone. This is where animal communication is just so unique and so helpful. So if you have an animal and you're not sure and you want to ask me about it, then please do, and please be patient, because I really haven't got the hang of responding on YouTube, because I seem to have lost messages that I haven't responded to, but I'm working on it. And take care and be well and look after yourselves and your animals. Bye. Cheers.